What's up, guys? I'm Tim Gettys. This is Greg Miller. Today, we're doing another kind of funny reacts. Greg, what are we talking about?
We're talking about the fact that all of our dreams are coming true in the DC TV universe. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with not so breaking news, but a whole bunch of insight for you on the fact that Grant Gustin, yes, the Flash from CW, is coming to Melissa Benoist's Supergirl show on CBS. Not enough people are talking about this. I did it on Colin. First off, Colin didn't even put it on Colin Live, our new show.
Classic
Each
Colin.
and every day, twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. And this is huge. This is huge.
It is. I even know this. I don't watch the DC TV universe stuff, but I know that up until now, the Supergirl has kind of been like Gotham, just kind of its own side thing. But this was more of a will it, won't it type situation.
Yeah, exactly. Because what we got to go back to is if you're not paying attention to the DC TV universe, what you need to know is that there is one true Lord and Savior, and his name is Greg Berlanti. Now, if you don't know Greg Berlanti, it's very simple. He's the guy behind all of these shows. Now, I'll address the elephant in the room, Tim. Greg is not following me on Twitter. I don't understand Greg Berlanti. I am Greg, you are Greg. We are both clearly obsessed with the DC universe. You are behind Arrow, Flash, Supergirl. Here's where it gets really upsetting. Blind Spot. Why is this upsetting? One of my best friends, Ashley Johnson, is in the Blind Spot. I don't know what else I have to do, Greg, to get you to follow me on Twitter. But I'm getting off track here. Yeah. So when Greg was behind the whole thing on Flash, Arrow, all this stuff, making this universe. Now, of course, now they got, DC Legends of Tomorrow happening over there. He's making this whole TV cinematic universe. He goes over and starts the CBS show, Supergirl. And everybody's like, is it in the same universe? Can it cross over? Da-da-da-da. And he's never beaten around the bush. Very clearly, I mean, at the last Critics Association meeting or whatever the hell they call them, where they go up
they do stuff,
wherever Matt Fowler and Eric Goldman go disappear to forever. He was talking like, if it's gonna happen soon. We're trying to make it happen. Da da da. And then today it comes out that it's happening none other than March 28th.
Oh my!
That's soon.
right around the corner.
And then today, and now it's announced today, Grant Gustin on Instagram. Yeah, I follow Grant Gustin on Instagram. You all should too. His dogs aren't as cute as Portillo, but they're out there, no big deal, doing things. He put out the Instagram of the script called World's Finest. Are you fucking kidding me? I know I wasn't supposed to curse in this video. I already screwed it up. I apologize. But I'm very, very excited. If you've ever seen one of these videos where I talk about DC things, I get very, very excited. So this is just one of the things. So now you might ask, why am I grabbing at the notepad?
Yeah, why are you grabbing the notepad?
You know that I know all these facts. Because there's some people that need to get taken to task. Number one, Entertainment Weekly, EW.com. You do fantastic work and I like a lot of your things, don't get me wrong. But over on EW, it was written. This is happening. Flash Supergirl crossover, March 28th. Everybody's super excited. Though the Emerald Archer, Arrow, which they had mentioned in the graphic before, is missing from the initial outing, having the Flash first crossover with Supergirl seems a little more plausible considering they're both metahuman and superheroes-heavy shows. But since Barry Allen lives in a neighboring town to Oliver Queen, that means that Kara Danvers hails from the same universe. Therefore, the possibility of a future crossover with Arrow isn't improbable. It's just not happening right now. Hold the fucking phone, EW. I cursed again. Okay. Here's my problem with this, is that you are jumping to conclusions. You have busted out the Office Space, jumped to conclusion math, and I'm not a fan of that. The problem here is that they are very much not in the same universe. Fact. In the CW universe, Superman does not exist. We have never talked about Superman. We have never referenced Superman. I'm not prepared to go out on a limb here and say that we've never mentioned Metropolis. I don't think we have, but you understand how TV shows are. Maybe I forgot something.
There's a thing in the background that says Metropolis.
No offense. Oh, you're making me think of it. I think that made me spring to mind a shipping crate, but I do believe that was in the Batman games I'm thinking of. It doesn't matter. Maybe I've missed it, but for sure they've never talked about Superman because, of course, Superman is universe breaking. You can't be Oliver Queen in Star City and be like, I'm Green Arrow, I'm doing amazing things or whatever.
I'm saving cats from trees.
Exactly, because what was great, what was really cool, and still is cool about the CW universe, right, is that they didn't have metahumans until Flash. When the Flash happened, with the whole, Star Labs explosion or stuff, that's what introduced all of a sudden people with crazy powers, really, you know what I mean? With the, they had Mirakuru,
before that, it's like, I shoot arrows.
Well, there was that in the Mirakuru, of course.
Of course, the
Deathstroke. You remember the Mirakuru. Of course. But I mean, for the most part, that's how they kept it going. So there was no aliens coming to Earth, this, that, and the other, you know what I mean? There's also no Batman. We don't hear about Gotham City, you know what I mean? Because, of course, if we're being honest here, Arrow very much Batman. We're not, not lying here. So the fact is that they are not in the same universe whatsoever. Also because over in Supergirl's universe, there's never any talk of Flash, there's never any talk of Green Arrow. There is talk, of course, Superman, who shows up as a shadowy figure in I.Am's car a lot. I get that.
Okay.
Of course, this is one of the problems with Supergirl. Lovely show, not simple show. You know what I mean? They don't get into it.
It's not too deep.
They don't get into the weeds like Flash and Arrow.
There's not people putting up the pins and the strings trying to figure everything out with that show.
Yeah, okay, that's one way we say it. I don't know. Okay, sure. So clearly what's happening here, EW, is that they are not in the same universe. They are very clearly in the multiverse. You are a DC fan out there. If you're watching and you've struggled along this far, you know as well as I do, the multiverse, infinite Earths, all these different things happening. Of course, right now, this season of Flash, they are dealing with the multiverse. Season 2, they have all these different portals open to different universes or whatever. Earth 2, that's why we got Jay Garrick over in, Barry Allen's world and all these different things are happening. It's conceivable, perhaps too easy to assume that one of these universal portals leads over to Supergirl's universe, where we're going to go over to National City, see Catco Media, see what's happening. Do I think that's the case? Yeah, I do. I think that's because I think that's the easiest solution to it. And not only is it the easiest, it's a solution that makes the most sense. Now here, Tim, is where it gets very, very exciting. Because if they introduce this fact, this now means that, let's lay it down from this thing, okay? March 28th comes and goes. March 20th, we wake up, we open Variety, as I believe it still probably comes in a paper, even though we look at the .com, and we go, oh my goodness, look at these Supergirl ratings. All the CW, all the DC fans are getting together, and they are dominating the charts because now all of a sudden this is super exciting, this is super cool, which then all of a sudden opens up the thing of like, well,
we gotta keep doing this.
Do we want to do it with Gotham? Well, do we want to do it with the movies? Now, you might say the movies, of course, not that stupid, Greg. Why would you do it with the movies? Doesn't make any sense. I'd say this, of course, because it does make sense. And this is the whole thing, is I had a whole video everybody knows out there that I want to do a video about my Superman video game, right? I had a whole video also planned about how I would merge the DC cinematic universe and the DC TV universe, and this is pretty much it. What it would have been, of course, and I'm sure you remember this. Come with me.
Take me.
You're back in the movie theater. You're there. You're watching Chris Meloni, of course, a god among men. Chris Meloni, he's up there. Fiora comes to the front of the ship and he goes, "A good death is its own reward." And she looks down and they slam into the world mapper with the Phantom Drive, right? And it goes, and it all rips in. What I want to do is have I skipped ahead. What I want to do is, right? And then we're all of a sudden in Arrow or whatever, Arrow's doing his thing, whatever. Detective Lance calls up Arrow. This is before they're all bad.
Do the impression.
Come on now.
I'm just letting you know.
Detective Lance calls up Arrow and he's like, "Hey, Arrow, got a guy down here." And he's basically, that's my Detective Lance. He's like, "I got a guy down here you need to come down to." He's talking crazy. He goes in, you go in. It's Christopher Meloni in his fatigues, change your chair, and he goes, "I have to talk to Lois Lane." And Arrow's like, dun, 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 dun. And then he calls up Flash, of course, because Flash is, deals with the metahumans or whatever. Flash comes in.
He's fast.
Exactly. He'd be in a jiff. Chris Meloni's like, I come from this world, I need to talk to Lois Lane, I need to talk to Clark Kent. They do some research. Lois Lane got killed in this thing, never existed really in their universe, right? Same thing with Clark Kent. Nobody's ever heard of him, right? The Kents never had a kid, da-da-da-da-da. Now, here's where it gets awesome. This is where it would have been awesome. I'm ruining this video that I would never make, so stick with me. Imagine more effects and cooler things. I wanted to do this before the end of Flash Season 1. So stick with me. That Reverse Flash is still Reverse Flash. He's still the Doc. He's still everybody we know. You know what I mean? He's still Ed, right? From the bowling alley. That's how I'm always going to remember Tom Cavanagh. You know who I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
You know who I'm talking about. Tom Cavanagh. Reverse Flash. He's down in, the particle generator thing. They got him locked up or whatever. Barry, I need to talk to this, I need to talk to that, and I've never heard of that, but and Chris Meloni's like, "No, it's Flash. Like, this is a real thing." He doesn't know Flash, of course. "No, these are real people. They were heroes on my planet, da-da-da-da-da." And he's like, And then Barry remembers, of course, Reverse Flash. That he'd come back, he knew time, all these different stuff. Barry runs back to Central City, goes through, cuts through, and Dr. Wells, a.k.a. Reverse Flash at this point, because we're Season 1, remember, walks in the particle accelerator, opens the thing. Tom Cavanagh's there, just killing it like Tom Cavanagh does. And Barry's like, "I'm talking to this guy over here. He's saying, Lois Lane, Clark Kent, Superman. Do you know anything about this?" This would have been the finale of Season 1 Flash. Tom Cavanagh, also strapped to a chair, and goes, "Of course I do, Mr. Allen. do you think only I went back in time to kill a hero? And it's that boom, and the thing that like it's the rogues in the future had come back through, and killed all sorts of people. So when Barry Allen, Flash, CW TV universe, the rogues had come back, killed. They had basically, baby Superman lands, they kill him right away, or they capture him. I don't know what they do, but
they do something with baby Superman.
It's probably too much on a CW show
They're
to
not
kill a
gonna
baby.
kill no babies.
Yeah,
no.
they kick him back. They pick it up and they just throw the spaceship back. I hit Portillo really hard, but you understand where I'm going with this. That would have been the thing. So now, long story short, is that I felt like that train came and went. You know what I mean? See, end of season 1 comes a Flash. Amazing. Have you watched Flash season 1?
I have not.
Jesus Christ,
I am so
Tim.
behind all. Hey, I just got on Walking Dead, Greg. It's going to take a couple years.
But I want you to know how good Flash season 1 is.
I've heard.
Okay. So, the interesting wrinkle is that I say all this, I wanted to make this video, this is how I would have done it, right? That sounds really cool. You're all at home right now going, my God, Greg's amazing. Why hasn't Greg Berlanti followed him on Twitter yet? This is insane. At Game Over Greggy. But here's the thing. This is from Kevin Smith on Fat Man on Batman, I believe. Where if you remember, Kevin Smith did the CW's, with Jeff Johns, hey, here is the DC Cinematic Universe thing. This is something he talked about, the fact that they cut from that, all right? They cut it from the DC Cinematic Universe thing on the CW.
TV special.
Kevin Smith said, we saw Ezra Miller, who's playing Movie Flash, and we had shot for those that follow this sort of thing. I'm a big Flash fan, huge Flash fan. I've been talking about, I'm trying to bleep myself. We talked about it on the show. You create a new Flash in the movies, with all apologies to Ezra Miller, who's a great actor, but you've got a Flash audience, and Grant is phenomenal as Flash. And we did a piece where we talked about, I don't know how much I'm supposed to say because they cut it out, and I was kind of bummed they cut it out. But the idea of, hey man, DC is known for nothing if not a multiverse. So at which point I was like, could they cross over? And he was like, and this is Jeff Johns, so doors are being left open. Porty, you okay? He gets very excited about the multiverse.
He's like, oh my God, Flash.
Doors are being left open and stuff like that for, think about this. You can have Ezra Miller be the Flash, and you can also have Grant be the Flash because there's a multiverse at work. Now, Kevin Smith, roundabout way. As you know, my whole thing where I just reenacted the segment that I never filmed, much more to the point. But what we're both saying is that the fact that there is a multiverse means that there could be a crossover at some point where Gal Gadot shows up on any of these shows, and she is Wonder Woman. That this happened. Now, will that happen? Probably not.
Gal
Gadot. Gadot.
Not Gadot.
Gadot.
No. Did you see the video? There's a YouTube video, how to pronounce Gal Gadot's name.
Gal Gadot?
45 seconds of her saying Gal Gadot, Gal Gadot, Gal Gadot, Gal Gadot from a bunch of interviews.
I apologize, Gal Gadot. Because for a long time I remember not Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot. There is a T. It's just not as...
That's fine. I'm fine with it.
Letting you know, it's a great YouTube video. You should watch it. You should too.
I thank you for being a Fast and the Furious fan who's turning on a DC fan. We're now taking her from you. She's graduated from junior high school to high school, and she's here with us now.
It's definitely something.
And we're just doing it over here in the DC Cinematic Universe. It's amazing.
I've been a fan of her for years, Greg.
Now, and here's something else. Jeff Johns, of course. Somebody who does follow me on Twitter, Greg Berlanti. He said this to BuzzFeed in 2014.
I follow them on Twitter.
Well, Arrow and Flash have the same universe, and we get a lot of great story out of that, especially when we have episodes that cross them over. But that's also where our superhero universe lives. We look at it as a multiverse. I got the last part right, because when I was like, but that's also where our superhero... Okay. We look at it as a multiverse. We have our TV universe and our film universe, but they all coexist. For us, creatively, it's about allowing everyone to make the best possible product, to tell the best story, to do the best world. Everyone has a vision, and you really want to let the vision shine through. I think the characters are iconic enough. I like Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a lot. I love what Marvel does. I'm a huge fan. It's just a different approach. So, again... He's admitting that there's a multiverse in play here, which is DC's whole thing.
Yeah.
Now, will there ever be a giant crossover in, Infinite Worlds thing where they're all fighting each other? No, there won't be. There won't be. I'll tell you right now. You're never going to get Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot. Gadot. To come down and fight our people. But I still think a possible crossover could happen. I'll tell you right now, the Chris Meloni thing I just pitched you, the best option they got. Because Chris Meloni, guess what? Here's the thing. Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, they're all movie stars now. They're all, we're going to do this whole thing. We're going to stay out there. Chris Meloni, man of the people. Chris Meloni follows me on Twitter. I said it. So I'm just letting you know that Chris Meloni would be down. Chris Meloni, 1 second, he can be doing Man of Steel. The next, he can be doing Wet Hot American Summer. The next, he'll get Chris Meloni loves working. He loves being an actor. He's about the craft, not about where the product lives. So I'm saying that's a chance, is what I'm saying. But more exciting, right, is the fact that all this is happening now, that DC is finally here. We are here doing what everybody wants. We're taking the world by storm. Everyone universally loves these movies and TV shows. No one has anything bad to say about it. And we are finally there where it's all happening. I left out the fact that Constantine also was on NBC and then showed up on Arrow. But I just wanted to point that out there at the end as a fact check myself. But exciting.
I mean, it is exciting. For me, someone that understands the politics of all this stuff, I think it's exciting that CBS is working with CW.
But again, it's because Greg Berlanti.
And that's awesome, because that is
follow me on Twitter.
That's a step, you know?
Yeah.
That's something that we wouldn't have seen before.
Now,
and that is something that, Gotham's on Fox and all these other things are CW, they're not going to cross over and blah, 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 blah. But this is like, multiverse.
If I can do something here that I never do on camera, and let's be 100% honest, and talk to Greg Berlanti for myself, and do something I never do on camera. Now, Mr. Berlanti, of course I want you to follow me on Twitter, but the bigger wish I have for you is simple. And it's something that's been rumored literally since all this stuff started with Arrow and Flash and the multiverse and everything else. And I've never allowed myself to believe it. And even recently, I believe it was your own BuzzFeed, put up an interview with the man, but only asked about Supergirl, in which the response was, I haven't been approached, but I'd be open to it kind of thing. I swear to God, Mr. Berlanti, that if you can get Tom Welling to show up and be Clark Kent and be Superman, and I don't mean the Supergirl universe. I understand that that's a reoccurring role. You don't want to take away from Supergirl. No big deal. If you can have him show up in one episode of The Flash in the multiverse. Flash runs in through the portal. Erica Durance is there. Tom Welling is there. Not only will I cry, I will watch whatever shows you make. You can stop making superhero shows, and you can just say, Greg, I'm making this show right now. And I'll be like, what's it about? You're like, it's Bob Vila again. I'm like, oof. Did not like Bob Vila when I was a child. I will watch it this time, though. That is what I'm prepared to do right now. If you will please put Tom Welling in the Smallville universe somehow connected to the CW universe. That is Flash and Arrow, of course. I know it's Smallville CW universe. Thank you. P.S.
Get Lana.
No, we don't need that. No, great woman, I assume, from what I've seen of Kristen Kirk. But we don't need Lana in this universe. Erica Durance is perfect. Aquaman in Laser Team, a Rooster Teeth movie, and I could text Bernie right now. So if you just want to have Aquaman from Smallville universe crossover and test the waters, I can make that happen.
It's true. All of it. Ladies and gentlemen, that video was brought to you by Casper mattresses. You should get yours. There's a 100-day free return policy. So you can get the mattress, you can test it out. Greg, I don't know if you know this.
Yeah.
But it's made with two different things. We're talking memory foam.
Okay.
No. We're talking memory foam and we're talking latex foam. So it's two different foams so you get just the right sink.
Okay. Yeah.
You're going to want to try that. It's way cheaper than all the other mattresses. You might be paying $1,500 a mattress. Now the adults at home are going to be like, oh, that's right. The kids at home are going to be like, mattresses aren't that much.
I get them out on the street.
They are that much. And it's going to be a shocking revelation when you leave college and you're like, oh my God, I need to buy my own mattress. And it's going to be scary.
I think about the disgusting mattresses I slept on in college.
It's a bad time. It's a bad time.
Yeah.
But these are way, way, way cheaper. That's Casper's whole thing. They want to get you the mattresses that you need. They want that right sinking so you have better nights, brighter days. That's their whole 1-2 magoo, right?
Yeah.
So if you're interested in this, you should go to casper.com/kindafunny and use the code kindafunny. You can get $50 towards any mattress that you want today. And if you don't like it, you have 100 days to return it. No questions asked. Thank you, Greg.
Here's what I want to float out there. Mr. Berlanti, I understand you don't want to follow me on Twitter, that's fine. If you don't want to follow me on Twitter, no big deal. Here's the deal I'm willing to offer you. I will fly myself to Vancouver to be an extra in the very back of Jitters. I just want to have a cup of coffee, have a flash cappuccino, sit there. You won't even be able to tell that it's me. I'll be blurry in the background, and I will tweet this, and you will get dozens more viewers.
Dozens, like 24. That's 2 dozen. Not a baker's dozen.
No.
Casper mattresses, made in America. You can get the.
We're still talking about this.
$500. You can get a king size, $950.
Grant Gustin on Supergirl, March 28th, CBS.
Compare that to industry averages. That's an outstanding price point. It's true.
Now, also, I'll bring Portillo if you want to Vancouver.
My God,
he could be in there. Have you thought yet, Mr. Berlanti, about how you're going to handle crypto in Kara's universe? We've turned a lot of things in their heads over there. Not going to ruin anything, John Jones. So why don't we just, of course, bring a new wiener dog in, and that can be crypto for one episode. He runs away from me while Kara's over there getting Kat's coffee. Kat gets all upset. Well, Kat wouldn't be there, of course. She wouldn't buy it, get her own coffee.
Naturally.
But Kara's upset and Jimmy's over there. And, the episode writes itself, is what I'm saying.
Casper.com/kindafunny. Use promo code kindafunny to get $50 off your mattress today.
Thanks, CBS and Supergirl. It's not just for old people anymore. CBS. Supergirl was never for old people.
Thank you, Portillo, for your sound.
Did you hear that? His stomach gurgling?
He's doing some stuff.
Port, are you percolating? Do you want to go be on the Supergirl show? You want to be crypto? But when to be crypto?
He's like, yeah, I do.
How can you say? Follow me, Greg.
Look at him. He's touching.